Hey guys, thanks for joining me for this painting tutorial, and in this video I'll be showing you how I painted this still life painting with oil colors. Painting still life is a great way to learn oil paints because it helps to learn the basic shapes and light, dark and medium tones. And still life is basically helps in improving or learning any other medium also, like whether it is pencil shading, watercolor or acrylic. So I chose this setup of teapot with purple flowers, and this one don't have like lots of different tones, so it will be easier for you to learn by watching the video. So I am using these colors which are shown on the screen. Well, basically all colors are oil based, which are made by adding oil into color pigments, and it can only be used with oil medium. There are lots of mediums available in the market, but I use linseed oil because it is easily available. If you are just starting up with oil painting, you may purchase student grade colors because they are really cheap in comparison to artist colors. But you will be missing out the quality that artist colors have. Still, student based colors give you idea on how to use oil colors. And yes, they are not expensive, so just buy a small set of student based colors if you are just starting out. So I am adding a little amount of paint thinner in linseed oil so it can decrease some drying time of the colors. Paint thinner is also used for cleaning the brushes. I am using canvas paper for this painting. Usually I paint on canvas, but for this tutorial purpose I am painting on this, just to show that you can learn oil painting with this. You really don't have to prime this paper, it will work either way because these canvas papers are made for oil colors. I fixed up the paper with the tape on my drawing board. I drew the layout with the pencil, and if you are using pencil for making the layout, just don't put much pressure on it. Otherwise it will be hard to cover up the dark lines with the paint, and the powder of the pencil will also blend into your colors and it can ruin your tones. So I'm starting up with a really thin layer in the background with adding a good amount of medium. And whenever you put a layer on your canvas, just give time to dry the layer first. In the video you may think that I started painting wet on wet, but I actually started another layer after the first layer was dry. Well, before putting another layer, I'll show you how I mix the colors so you can get the idea. First I'm putting some medium on the palette so it will mix with the colors nicely. I guess that will give you the idea on how to mix colors. If you don't have a palette knife, you can just use your brush. But before proceeding with another tone, first clean your brush so it will not ruin your tones. Now I am painting the pot, and you have to figure out which tone you have to make and where you have to apply that with the help of the reference you are making your painting with. So just observe and put the colors where you saw it. You don't have to be perfect for that, just put it randomly, and as you proceed to paint little by little, you can get the image. You just have to figure out which color need to go where, just like a jigsaw. I am using flat oil brush for putting the colors. For merging the colors, I am using filbert brushes which are round from the top and they have really smooth bristles. For merging or blending the colors, just move your hand gently over the colors with your brush. You don't have to worry if you don't have filbert brush, you can do with your flat brush also, but you have to be more gentle then. So the whole painting is based on these steps. You have to make tones, figure out where you put it, and merge the colors smoothly. But for some areas you have to paint over it just to give more details into your painting. But before that you have to let this layer dry first. So while the area I painted is drying, I am painting on the other part. I am painting the cup just like I painted the pot. For the flowers, I am seriously putting some random shapes which I will improve by adding some different tones later. The best way to learn how to paint is observe. So I will play the video in a speed so you can observe, and the process is just the same as I described earlier. Add dark where you see dark and add light where you see light tones, and vice versa.
past? Have I lost sense of time? No rhyme and no rhythm, no way to go home, no way to bear with ya. But this can't be gone, we can end it all just like that. Baby, I know you know how to be a heartbreaker, but you don't know how love goes. Baby, I know you know how to be a heartbreaker, but you don't know how love goes. You and your magic touch, you and your soft whisper, it's taking me down. I'm seeing things clearer, but I can't hold on, can't let go of what was before. Baby, I know your tricks, I know when you fool that, I know when love's real, and I know when you fool it, and this is just not, so I think it's my time to go. Baby, I know you know how to be a heartbreaker, you don't know how love goes. You know how to be a heartbreaker, but you don't know how love goes. Baby, I know you know how to be a heartbreaker, but you don't know how love goes.
So here's the finished painting. I didn't paint this more realistically so you don't freak out in your first attempt of oil painting. This tutorial was just to give you the idea of how to paint with oil colors and telling you some basic things. But if you really want to get better in oil painting, you just have to practice a lot. And practicing is the only way. So I hope you like this tutorial, and remember, don't lose hope when you're trying to paint realistic painting. I mean, you don't have to make it look like super realistic, just paint how you can paint and don't get frustrated with your single attempt. I know there are always some artists who lose their motivation just because they want to make their painting look more realistic. Just be confident of your work and give your that goal time and just keep practicing. And if you want to know more or have a question in your mind, just comment down and I will be happy to answer. And if you are in this part of the video, just check out my channel and subscribe to my channel if you think it is worth subscribing. Okay guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye.